Hello everybody, welcome to part 1, the official part of Decoding the Matrix. This is a new series that I'm doing to explore and expand the meaning of life and spirituality and the way that a lot of us see it. Unfortunately, spirituality has become ingrained with dogma and rhetoric, and it is basically like religion now. It's full of gatekeeping, it's been invaded by Christianity, and it's completely forgotten its origins, which is Hinduism. It's not Egyptian, it's not Christian, it's not Muslim, it's not Judaism, it is Hinduism. Okay, now, many of us know and believe now that this is a matrix. Okay, this isn't actually real, it's a projection. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain this in gaming analogies. I did a session with somebody recently who's a gamer, and I explained a little bit about the concept, and I used video games for an analogy. Now, I'm not a gamer myself, I've not played video games for some time, so a lot of the games I'm going to be referencing, yes, they probably are a little bit out of date, but hopefully people will either have heard of them or played them. All right, so let's start with what is this? What is Earth? What is this game of life called Earth? So I'm going to compare the game of life Earth to a game, one of the last games I ever played, which was Fallout. Now, that game is basically based on a post-apocalyptic world. It's a free roam world. So what I mean by that is, if you're not familiar with video games, is that you have your main mission, but you can kind of go where you want. You know what I mean? You don't have to. It's not like the old games, where platform games, where you have to follow the screen through, etc., etc. Now, in the game, before you start, you get to choose what gender you are. You get to choose what type of attributes you have. So, are you going to be strong? Are you going to be a warrior type? Are you going to be clever? Are you going to be analytical? Are you going to be spiritual? Are you going to be preacher? Loads of different attributes, and you kind of build up your character. You can also choose what path you take. So, do you want to be good or bad? Basically. Now, along the way in this game, as you're working your way through and you're completing the missions and the side quests, you also have karma. So, if you're on a good path, then you choose to do things to help people out in the side quests. And that'll give you good karma. If you're on a bad path and you go bad, you go dark. I'm going to be a baddie this time. You rob, steal, kill people, etc., etc. And that gives you bad karma. And that, in essence, is what this game of life is. Now, your higher self is the person playing the video game. Right, that's your higher self. Right, that's the one that's really in control. Now, when we talk about being a channel, so I'm a channel, right? So as a psychic, I'm not a spiritual medium anymore. I'm a channel. And basically what that means is I'm plugging into my higher self and I'm just letting that higher self talk. I'm not using guides, I'm not using angels, I'm not using Arcturian councils. I'm using myself, but my higher self, who is sat in a gaming chair or on a beanbag somewhere, controlling the avatar. Now, being the character in the game, you're not aware of this because you're a character in a game. You think you're self-aware, but you're not. Not yet, anyway. Okay, now, when you have your first level awakening, it's much like in the game, whereby, because when you start playing a video game, most people, and this is most people, they stick to the main mission. I've got to do this, I'm going to follow the story through, and you go through the cutscenes and da. Now, you have your first level awakening, right? And you go, oh, hang on, there's side quests I can do here. Maybe I don't have to stick to the main game. Maybe I could go off and wander and explore this other stuff. Now, the game is designed to be hard. It's designed to challenge you, and it's designed to throw roadblocks in the way. The game itself doesn't mind if you go off on these side quests, and it's not impossible to complete, but it wants you just to complete the main mission. Now, you can ignore the whole side quest and just go straight through the mission, complete it, done. There's no real extra challenges along the way. Now, with computer games as well, you can also set the difficulty level. So if you're a young soul, and I'm going to be talking about soul levels in the next part 2, okay? If you're a young soul, you're going to start on easy. You're going to have plenty of money, you're going to have plenty of ammunition, you're going to have plenty of food, you're going to have plenty of medicine, and it's easily available and found. The enemies are easy to pop off. Yeah. And what you do is you complete the game, which is like passing over. And then you go, oh, I fancy another go at that. I'm going to make it harder. So you go to the next level. And every time you go over, reincarnate, you make the level a little bit harder. And as you go up the harder levels, the awakenings start to get harder as well. The side quests get harder as well. So in essence, this is what we're in. We're in this matrix, this video game. Now, I'm going to do another part in regard to the multiverse concept. But when we talk about there being multiple versions of yourself, if we just focus on Fallout to start with, that would be like having the game on PlayStation, the game on Xbox, and the game on PC. I don't know if there's any other consoles about at the moment. I think they're the three main, aren't they? The game itself is the same, but the console's different. So that's like a different universe. And there'll be ever so slight nuances because of the way that universe runs, that computer system runs, to why it's never actually always the same. And much like when you play a game multiple times, you are not going to do it in exactly that same way. Okay, so this is the concept of multiple version of yourself. You're the same higher self. It's still you sat in the gaming chair, but you're playing it on different consoles. The control pad's slightly different if you're using a PC, using the keyboard and stuff like that. So the control navigation's slightly different as well. Now, the idea is that you complete this game ideally by clearing your karma. So it means sticking to that path, doing all the side quests, completely completing the game, and trying to do it without causing any grief or harm. Now, in the game, much like in real life, you do have to deal with bad guys. Now, the love and light concept would say as soon as you see a baddie, you run away. Hide under that rock and wait until they've gone. The game would be a bit boring, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? You're just running and hiding all the way. You know, you've got all this ammunition, you've got all this stuff, you can deal with them quite easily, but you're running away. So it's about finding that front to say, no, I'm not doing this, and standing up. Okay? We're going to go more in another part, but that was part 1. Okay? Spiritual advice and guidance and starseed activation readings are available. We're off and running on this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do repost it if it's making sense. Do comment, like, all the usual stuff, please. Ta-ta.